What if I told you that your body has been telling you exactly what it needs, but you're not sure how to listen to it? Think about that for a moment. Most of us were taught a lot of things, how to present ourselves. I know for me, my mother told me, I just want you to be perfect. So she had an adjustment to make every time before I would leave the house as I was growing up, right? And I would say, why? And she would say, I don't want nobody talking about you. I guess that was a reflection on her, right? I was taught a lot of things: how to clean, how to read, how to drive a car. We were taught how to get a job and how to take care of other people. But very few of us were ever taught how to listen to our own bodies. Instead, we learned how to ignore them. We ignored our exhaustion, our headaches, our tight shoulders. We ignored our racing thoughts. We ignored our anxiety, our grief. We ignored our anger because anger is not nice, right? We don't ever want to be labeled as angry. And after years of doing that, we begin to believe that feeling stress and overwhelmed and exhaustion is just the normal way of life. We got to keep on pushing. But what if your body has been speaking to you all along? And what if healing begins the moment we actually decide to listen? I'll tell you a story that happened to me recently. I scraped my ankle while getting out of the shower. Now, I want to be real honest here. I wasn't real mindful in that moment. I had a couple of choice words because it hurts. But then I looked down and I saw that my ankle was actually cut and it was bleeding. So, what did I do? I cleaned it. I put some ointment on it. I covered it with a bandage. And over the next several days, I watched it heal. I watched that scab come off, right? Now imagine if I had looked at my ankle and said, oh, it's fine. I don't have time. I don't have time to deal with that now. I'll deal with it later. I'll just push through. That little scrape could have become something much worse. It could have become infected, right? So, why do we do that? We have to understand that you cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. The amazing thing about our bodies is that they're designed to heal, but healing begins when we acknowledge that something has happened. I think that's where many of us get stuck on an emotional level. We acknowledge that physical pain immediately, right? We don't argue with it. We don't pretend that it's not there. But emotional pain, that's different. Someone disappoints us and we just keep moving right along. I know for me, sometimes that used to bring about a feeling of shame because how did I allow myself to be put in that position, right? We say to ourselves, I should have known better. But we don't really acknowledge that we felt disappointed. Sometimes our emotional pain can be grieving, but we keep showing up because we feel like it's been a while. I should be over this by now. When we're anxious, we smile because don't nobody want to hear that, right? We're exhausted. We drink more coffee. Our hearts are breaking, and we tell people, I'm fine. I'll get through it. And that's probably true. You probably will get through it. But what are the scars? What is it costing us? We're celebrated for being strong, for pushing through, for doing everything for everybody else, for surviving. But surviving isn't the same thing as healing. Somewhere along the way, we learned that naming our pain made us weak. And I want to really suggest the opposite. Naming our pain is one of the bravest things that we will ever do because you cannot heal what you cannot name. The body is incredibly wise. It has a language. And the question becomes, do you know how to speak that language? Maybe your body is saying, my shoulders are tight because I'm carrying so much. My jaw is clenched because I'm holding back words I need to say. My stomach is in knots because I'm worried. My chest feels heavy because I'm grieving. My breathing is shallow because my nervous system does not feel safe. Those aren't problems, those are the messages that our body is sending us. Our bodies aren't betraying us, they're communicating with us. Every headache, every tight muscle, every sleepless night, every racing thought. Your body has been saying, please, please pay attention. But here's what happened. Most of us heard that message, right? And immediately we try to silence it. Instead of just being curious, we become critical. Instead of saying, what is my body trying to tell me? We ask, what is wrong with me? And those are two very different questions. One leads to that shame that I was talking about, and the other leads to healing, because awareness always comes before transformation. You must name it before you can change it. So let's try and practice together for just a moment. If it feels safe, you can close your eyes or you can lower your gaze. And just for this moment, try to be here right now in this present moment. Now inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth slowly. Now again, make this the biggest breath of your day. Let it go in whatever way feels good. Make it slow and make it smooth. Now take one more on your own, acknowledging your breath. And now I want you to ask yourself 3 simple questions. What am I feeling? You may even want to write this down. What am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? Where do I feel it in my body? What might make my body relax in this moment? What do I need right now? And notice I didn't ask you how to fix it. Healing doesn't always begin with fixing. Sometimes it begins with noticing. Sometimes your body just doesn't need another solution. It simply needs attention, compassion. You need your presence. That moment of awareness tells your nervous system, I see you, I'm listening, you're safe. I want to leave you with this. That scrape on my ankle healed because I acknowledged it. I didn't ignore it. I didn't shame myself for doing it. Matter of fact, I think I shamed the door. I cared for it. Our emotional wounds deserve that same kind of attention and kindness. So today, name the stress, name the grief, name the exhaustion, name the anger, name the fear. Not so you can stay there, but because what is named can be transformed. The power is in the pause, y'all. Because when you pause long enough to listen, your body begins to trust that it's finally safe. Your body has been telling you exactly what it needs. Today, choose to listen. If this message spoke to you in any way, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What has your body been trying to tell you lately? This life, it keeps moving, it keeps changing. And your story may be the encouragement that someone else needs. And if you're ready to stop living on autopilot and start creating a life where ease becomes a daily practice, subscribe to this channel. Every day, we'll learn how to regulate our nervous systems, how to reconnect with ourselves, and how to remember that healing doesn't begin with perfection, it begins with awareness. Because you cannot heal what you cannot name, and you cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. Now, don't forget to remember what you already know, and be well.